anyways, without further ado, I've already introduced myself, all that stuff, so we'll get right into the plaque. So this is our Sayler-Swartsel house. The Sayler-Swartsel house was built circa 1860 by Sebastian Sayler on land he purchased from the Young family 2 years prior. Originally, the home consisted of only 2 rooms, our present-day parlor and volunteer office. There's a now covered doorway which links previously the 2 rooms together. Notably, the floors are the same long, dark planks, which differ from the light oak planks arranged in a rectangle in the remainder of the home. All of the floors are original. A section of the original siding can be found off of our volunteer office. When Sayler purchased the land in 1858, he was married to Eliza Kitson. However, she died the following year after only 5 years of marriage. The couple had 2 children, Melissa and Martin, the latter of whom died in infancy. As a result, upon Sebastian's passing, the farm was purchased by W.S. Vickers, his farmhand and nephew. Winfield Scott W.S. Vickers was born on September 12, 1844, to Elias G. and Mary Sayler Vickers, most likely in Preble County. His mom died when Vickers was only 5 years old. When Winfield was only 17, he was mustered into the U.S. Army in the 93rd Ohio Regiment, Company G. His company participated in battles at Chattanooga, Tennessee, Chickamauga, Georgia, Kennesaw Mountain, Georgia, and Atlanta, Georgia. Winfield served almost 3 years in the military and was mustered out on June 8, 1865, at just 20 years old. Upon returning to his hometown, Winfield married Sarah Jane Matthews in 1867, and they had 1 daughter who died in infancy. Sarah passed away 6 months later after less than 2 years of marriage. She was just 22. Around the same time, the foyer, parlor, and the second story were added on by Vickers. A bit later, we believe that Vickers also added on the sunroom. 4 years later, Winfield remarried to Mary E. Bright on December 25, 1873. Together, this couple had Omar and Harriet. Omar died at age 24 of pneumonia. Harriet, married Joseph Swartsel, and together they had 1 daughter, Sarah Swartsel. Mary died in 1900 of an unknown chronic illness. Winfield himself passed on June 11, 1921. However, his spirit lives on around the home. Whether it be around the farm he helped manage, his lifelike bright eyes in each photo of him, or the carving he made of his initials, W.E., on the basement fireplace. The next owners of the home were Joseph and Harriet Swartsel, Vickers' son-in-law and daughter. The couple had previously shared this home with Harriet's father, Winfield, and his sister, Esther. Upon acquiring the home, the Swartsels added the kitchen, second story, and a back porch. While Joseph ran the farm, Harriet worked around the home. In August of 1930, she also began an experimental restaurant called the Countryside Inn here in their home. She called it experimental because her real reason for opening the restaurant was to help control the chicken, duck, and turkey populations on the farm. These animals, according to a letter written by Sarah to PCHS on July 29, 1993, were scarcely worth the feed and labor put into them. With the use of family linen and 1 set of china given to Harriet as a wedding gift, the restaurant began welcoming guests from Eaton and Middletown, where advertisements had been posted. Thanksgiving Day of 1930 was the final day the restaurant was open during that year. By then, Sarah and her mother, with the help of hired workers, served around 500 people. Harriet proclaimed the restaurant a success and planned to open again the following year. In the meantime, Sarah and her mother purchased more china, silverware, linens, crystal, chairs, tables, commercial equipment, and they remodeled the kitchen and laundry area. In June 1931, the business opened once again. It grew slowly for some time, but served guests from Dayton, Hamilton, Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky, Oxford, and Richmond, Indiana. Eventually, reservations became required unless the guests didn't mind waiting for an hour. All meals were served country-style, save for special luncheons or parties. Meals were served in all of the downstairs rooms except the parlor and present offices, which didn't exist at that time. Prices were very reasonable for what was a very large meal. For only $1.25, or about $25 today, one could get all of the fried chicken one desired, fruit cocktail juice or shrimp and assorted relishes, cottage cheese or mashed potatoes, 2 vegetables or a vegetable and corn fritters, hot clover leaf rolls, butter, jelly or preserves, coffee or iced tea, mints, candies or nuts, homemade ice cream or lemon sherbet, and 2 kinds of cake. I think I want to go to that restaurant. Or one could choose a smaller $1 meal with not as many choices. The restaurant on a very busy day would serve up to 175 people, but according to Sarah, this only happened a few times. Generally, business totaled around 50 to 70 people daily. The business came to a close in the spring of 1938 due to the death of Harriet Swartsel, who had acted as both manager and head cook. Joseph followed her in 1967. Both are buried just down the road in Fairview Cemetery in Gratis. In 1974, Sayler-Swartsel donated the 223-acre farm, including all of its land and buildings, to the Preble County Historical Society as a gift of love and sacred trust. The deed stipulated that the land be used as a cultural and educational resource center, as well as the headquarters for the Preble County Historical Society. The land can never be sold nor divided. An additional 20 acres was purchased in 2004 by PCHS to make this wonderful area even larger for all to enjoy. Today, the Sayler-Swartsel House acts as office spaces for PCHS staff, exhibit areas for thousands of artifacts, archive storage, textile storage, and collection and processing rooms. It serves as the embodiment of our mission to be the resource we have updated this since I wrote this, to be the resource that preserves and promotes the knowledge, history, and conservation of Preble County for all generations. Now unveil the plaque. We might have to move a little bit. The cat has also decided to become part of the ceremony. All right, without further ado, all right, thank you everybody for coming out today. Stay as long as you want till 5. We have a lot going on. There are programs at the information booth. You can also find them on, just pull up our website. It'll be the first thing you see. Programs for the day's activities, kind of where some of the things are, and anything else. So again, thank you guys for coming, and come check out all we have to offer.